All right, welcome to Sol Gittelman Field for today's matchup between your Tufts Jumbos and the Eastern Nazerene University Lions. And we're looking at the Jumbos coming in with a record of 22-6 overall, undefeated in conference. This is an out-of-conference matchup. The Eastern Nazerene comes in at 23-8 overall and 5-5 in conference. They are second in their conference behind Mitchell. But they are coming off 2 losses to New England College, so we'll see what today's matchup has in store today. Both teams strong for Division III baseball. What are we looking to see here today, Justin?
I'm looking to see what happens on the base path. Both teams have a lot of stolen bases. I'm looking to see what happens on the base paths today. Both teams have a lot of stolen bases. Each team at or over 100 stolen bases on the year. Both teams with a high stolen base percentage. However, we will see with Connor Bowman behind the plate for Tufts, throwing out 15 of 27 runners against him. We'll see what happens. Getting on base, scoring runs, causing errors. But that's how Tufts win a lot of their games this year. We'll see what happens today.
Yeah, definitely a matchup to look at. Gavin Brown on the mound for Tufts today. Senior left-handed pitcher coming out of IMG Academy. All right, we see him warming up now with Connor Bowman. All right, well. Yeah. I mean, I could, and then I could. Elvis Rojas, the second baseman for Eastern Nazerene. First pitch from Brown. Burned in there on the outside corner for strike 1. Called strike on the inside corner there, so now Rojas down 0-2. Low and outside, taken for a ball. Good eye there by Rojas. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Brown. Once again low. Rojas takes low. 2-2. And he swings through an off-speed pitch for strike 3. So that is the first strikeout and the first out of the game for the Jumbos. 1 down in the top of the first. Take strike 1 from Brown there. He was 5 for 9 in their series against Leslie. He has been good of late for them. The second pitch of the at-bat swings through that, so now down 0-2 in the count. And strikes out looking. Thought that pitch was low, but calls it for strike 3. So that's 2 Ks quickly for Gavin Brown here in the top of the first. Now the left fielder, Ferguson, up at bat. Off-speed pitch, taken low. Francis Ferguson hitting .429 on the year, earning this 3 spot in the lineup. He is up in the count 2-0 now. From Brown. There's a strike from Brown on the inside part of the plate. Now Ferguson has seen what Brown can throw. Taken high and outside, so Ferguson now faces a hitter's count, 3-1. And Gavin Brown is behind a hitter for the first time today. Taken low and inside, and Ferguson will walk. So Brown allows his first base runner. So now the first baseman, Shane McNamara, who has been the star of this Lions offense. Takes high, ball 1. There's a strike from Gavin Brown on the inside part of the plate. Ferguson not yet moving, dancing around there at first base. Middle infielders for the Jumbos keeping an eye on second base. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Brown deals the 1-1. Taken for a strike, so now McNamara's down 1-2 in the count, and Gavin Brown will look to get out of this inning. Runner goes. Bowman throws down, but the throw gets away from shortstop Ozzie Fleischer there. And Ferguson will get in there safely. So now a runner in scoring position as we see that speed for the Lions pay off on the base paths here. So now you set up McNamara. With a runner in scoring position. Count 2-2. Taken just high. The count is now full.
After a quick 2 first outs for Gavin Brown, getting into a bit of trouble here.
Full count. And that is bounced to the plate, so back-to-back walks given up by Gavin Brown. And the Lions have runners on first and second with 2 outs in the top of the first.
Now the shortstop, Frank Lendero, will be up to bat. Lendero batting .287 on the year. Gavin Brown looking to get out of some early trouble here after getting those first 2 outs.
First pitch from Brown is low and outside, so 1-0. Landero is another guy you do not want on the base paths. The 0-1 taken low. 1-0, excuse me. Low, now 2-0. As it starts to drizzle a little bit here at Sol Gittleman Field. The rain has been off and on since the game start. There's a strike from Brown on the inside part of the plate. 2-1 now as Landero looks down to the third base coach for the sign. The runners will be going on anything put in play here.
Brown looking back to second. He'll toss over to Fleischer. No play.
Made sure that he was very intentional with his movements there. Definitely not getting called for a balk, but also had no chance to get Ferguson at second base. The 2-1 pitch from Brown on the way. Way high, 3-1 now. That fastball missed way high. Normally when that happens, it's your release point, so. Brown hasn't really been missing outside and inside, more low to high here, so getting that release point timing correct is key. 3-1. Swings through that pitch, so the count is now full.
All the runners should be off with the pitch here with the full count and 2 outs. Single could score 2 runs here. Brown really struggling recently, or over the past couple at-bats.
There's the pitch, and it is fouled back to the backstop. Just under that pitch, Brown's looking to get away with a high fastball. Landero chokes up on the bat here to protect with 2 strikes.
Runners go again.
And that ball finds its way to the backstop, so all the runners will move up. And that is 3 walks in a row for Gavin Brown, as Coach Svagdis will come out of the dugout to have a chat with his pitcher. So after 2 quick outs, he gives up 3 back-to-back walks, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Not what you want to see from your starting pitcher.
That will bring up Tyler Bean, the right fielder, batting .255 on the year.
He has the second most at-bats on the team with 98. His 3 triples lead the team, and he is another one of those Lions players who has incredible speed on the base paths with 26 stolen bases leading this offense. He does also lead the team in strikeouts with 24, so if you're Gavin Brown, you're looking to get out of this one without a ball put in play. There's a strike from Gavin Brown. 0-1 now. Brown pitching from the stretch. The 0-1. High and outside, so 1-1. The 1-1. Again, way high and outside, so 2-1.
Gavin Brown really struggling with control now. Losing a lot of pitches, nowhere near the strike zone.
If you're the Jumbos here, you do not want to walk in a run in the top of the first inning. 2-1. Fouled back behind the backstop, so now 2-2. And Brown has a chance to get out of this inning. Swings through the 2-2 from Gavin Brown, so he gets out of the inning with no harm done. 3 walks, load the bases, but the Jumbos get out of the top of the first scoreless here. We open up the bottom of the first inning here at Sol Gittleman Field. John Tessier for the Lions is on the mound. A familiar face if you are a Jumbos fan. He pitched against them last year. Once when they lost 7-1, he pitched a complete game.
Henry Fleckner up to bat.
Take strike 1 there. Jumbo center fielder. So if you're the Jumbos, you're hoping to get the better of John Tessier today. And he is looking to get the best of you. That pitch is taken inside. 1-1. Low and outside, 2-1. Fleckner leads the team in doubles. He has played and started in all 28 of the Jumbos games this season. He has been hitting leadoff recently, replacing some of the other struggling members of this Jumbos offense, and he takes that pitch inside, 3-1. Now a hitter's count here for Henry Fleckner. Tessier with the pitch. Fouled back to the backstop, so the count is now full. Fleckner was on that pitch, just slightly under it. The full count from Tessier is taken high, so a leadoff walk for the Jumbos as Fleckner will get on.
Look for Fleckner to steal here. There's a good chance he does, going 19 for 20 on the base paths this year. That is the main way the Jumbos get their runners in scoring position and ultimately around to score.
Jesse McCullough, the first-year second baseman, Heading in the 2 spot today for the Jumbos. As Tessier will throw over to first base, but not quickly enough to get Fleckner, who was ready for that pickoff move. You got to think that Tessier will be throwing over to the bases often in hopes of keeping these Jumbos close. McCullough takes strike 1. Steps out and looks at the sign from the third base coach. Tessier will throw over again, and this time he will get Fleckner, who was caught leaning towards second base. So a good pickoff move there by Tessier. And the leadoff walk goes for naught as Fleckner is caught off of first base.
A real mistake for the Jumbos. Get their first man on and promptly lose him to a pickoff move.
Just taken low there. Good eye by McCullough, who now has the bases empty instead of a man on first.
Vidal trying to frame that pitch, get that call. Not working there, though.
That one is taken high. No chance of framing that one. 2-1 the count. McCullough on that pitch, fouls it back to the backstop, so 2-2 the count.
McCullough does appear to have this fastball timed up, just can't get good wood on it yet.
No swings and misses for the Jumbos yet today. There's one as Tessier retires McCullough on an off-speed pitch. So there are 2 quick outs in the bottom of the first inning for ENC.
That'll bring up the power threat, Jimmy Evans, batting an even 300 on the year. The right fielder, Jimmy Evans, batting an even 300 on the year with a solid OPS of 901 and an isolated power of .178.
Yeah, the left-handed right fielder has come off a strong series against Trinity, 4 for 9. Takes that off-speed pitch for a strike. He had 3 RBIs in the last game on April 22nd, so looking to continue that performance with some strong hitting here today. He rips that one into right field.
Just foul.
Just foul down that first base line. A little bit early on that pitch. Just brought it to the wrong side of the foul line there. That is the first solid contact we have seen a Jumbo hitter make today with a pitch from Tessier. Evans is now down 0-2 in the count. That pitch is outside. Vidal not able to frame it. So 1-2.
Tessier shaking off the first suggestion from Vidal, but he'll pitch now.
That one is taken low as Evans checks his swing. Looked like Tessier might have wanted to check with the first base umpire on if that was a swing or not, but I'm not sure they did it in time. So 2-2 now. Evans fouls that one back to the backstop, staying alive in this at-bat. If there's anybody you want to get this offense going, it's Jimmy Evans as he fouls that one out of play down the third base line. The pitch from Tessier is taken low.
I'm not sure how good of a framer Vidal thinks he is, because he is trying to get some really low calls here.
almost was able to get that one called for a strike, but the ump sticks with it as Evans rips that down the first base line again, but foul again. Staying alive and a good at bat here from Jimmy Evans. The full count from Tessier. Evans grounds it softly to the right side. Picked up over there at second base and thrown over to McNamara for the out. So 1, 2, 3 go the Jumbos in the bottom of the first inning. No hits for either side as Gavin Brown will come back out for his second inning of work. And we are back in the top of the second inning with the first baseman Jimenez facing Gavin Brown. Takes that first pitch outside. Good eye, 1-0. Excuse me, the third baseman. 2-0 the count as Brown misses again. That one taken low, so 3-0. And you got to think with Gavin Brown's control here today, Jimenez is not going to get the green light here.
Jimenez really needs to get back to what was working in those first couple at-bats, just pound the zone as he misses there again. 4-pitch walk.
Ruddy Vidal now up at bat for ENC. One and 0 to Rudy Vidal. Brown will throw over to first base. Jimenez not going anywhere. Unfooled by that pickoff move. And you can see the Jumbos already have somebody warming up in the bullpen over there. That pitch taken for a strike, so 1-1 the count to Vidal. Brown will throw over to first again, keeping Jimenez close. Vidal will take high, so 2-1 now. Bowman looked like he might have tried to throw down to first base there to get Jimenez getting back, but no throw. That pitch taken for a strike 2. So 2-2. As Brown has fought back in this at-bat. That one popped high and out of play. Into the parking lot. Luckily, I don't think it hit a car, so no worries. All windshields are intact. The 2-2. He does not swing at the high fastball. So the count is now full.
These Lions batters doing a great job of making Gavin Brown throw a lot of pitches. As the very rowdy Lions bench to my right cheers on.
That pitch is taken for strike 3, so Vidal strikes out looking. John Prentice, the junior designated hitter, comes up to bat in a lefty-lefty matchup. Jimenez dancing off of first still. Prentice will take high.
Prentice batting 154 on the year, and has only had 13 at bats so far this season for the Lions.
In those 13 at bats, he has struck out 5 times. Brown throws over again. Not the quickest pickoff move from Gavin Brown, but as a left-handed pitcher, you don't have to be that quick because of the fact that it can look like you're going to the plate and you can throw over. Brown making sure he doesn't get called for a balk. Once again, throws over. And in collegiate baseball, there are no limits on how many times you can throw over to first base, unlike the MLB now.
Not sure Brown is really trying to catch them stealing, or to catch them off the bag, just trying to keep them close to the bag, not let them get too big of a leadoff.
That pitch is taken high. It didn't even look like Prentice was ready for that pitch. But it doesn't matter as the ball misses the strike zone high, so 2-0. Prentice fouls that one out of play. Frustrated with himself for missing that one. Finally got one in the strike zone, and he fouls it back out of play, so 2-1 though. The pitch from Brown is taken low, so a hitter's count now for John Prentice. As seemingly in almost every single at-bat, the Lions have made Gavin Brown throw enough pitches to get to at least a 3-ball count. And he will take the walk.
It's his first walk of the season.
So 2 walks in the inning. For Gavin Brown. As the top of the Lions order comes up. As Elvis Rojas comes back to bat, having struck out in the top of the first inning. Swings through that pitch. We have seen some Eastern Nazerene players take that pitch for a ball, but Rojas swings through it. So strike 1 here as Brown gets ahead of a hitter. There is strike 2. Rojas late on that fastball. And now Gavin Brown can use his entire arsenal. Maybe even utilize a throwaway pitch here. the 0-2. Bowman will throw down to first to try and get Prentice diving back to the bag. Connor Bowman, a stellar defensive catcher, but wasn't going to be able to catch John Prentice on that one. So 1-2 the count to Rojas. Takes low and gets to his second 2-2 count of the day.
We've seen that Gavin Brown does have some strong stuff. That second fastball, that second pitch of the at-bat, strong fastball. When Gavin Brown can't hit the strikes with any reliability, doesn't matter how good your stuff is.
Grounds that one to the right side. Diving play over there by Fleischer prevents the ball from getting into left field, but he has no chance to get Rojas at first. So an infield single for Elvis Rojas loads the bases in the top of the second, with just one out.
Great play by Fleischer there, preventing that ball from getting past him, preventing the runner from scoring, keeping this a scoreless game.
Yeah, and you got to think that with the speed of Jimenez over there at second base, he would have come around to score. So a great play, defensive play by the Jumbo shortstop to keep that ball from getting into the outfield. Now Guerrero swings through the first pitch.
Second straight inning for Gavin Brown facing a bases loaded situation. Got out of the first one unscathed. This might be a bit tougher with only one away.
Brandon Guerrero slugging .493 on the season, so he is a power hitter. Good block there by Connor Bowman to prevent the ball from getting to the backstop and keep Jimenez at third base. Guerrero did strike out looking on a call that he disagreed with in the first inning. He grounds that one to the right side. This time Fleischer will have the play at second. They will not throw over to first, as they did not have a chance to get Guerrero speeding down that line. So the Jumbos will trade a run for an out, as now there are runners on the corner with 2 outs.
Bowman making the call to his fielders. Ferguson drew a walk in his first at-bat. Plate appearance, rather.
Takes a strike there from Gavin Brown. Ferguson is slugging .615 on the year, so definitely a threat to bring runners in to score. As he is second on the team in RBIs. Fouls that one into Connor Bowman, who looks a little bit shaken up there.
Always like how the umpires will walk the ball personally back to the pitcher after if the batter catcher gets shaken up there, giving Bowman some time to steady himself.
And he will swing through strike 3 there, so Gavin Brown will get out of the inning with just 1 run allowed. Eastern Nazerene working that lineup around, but only able to score 1. We head to the bottom of the second with the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Jumbos coming up to bat. right, and John Tessier out on the mound for his second inning of work here. He will face Connor Bowman, the senior captain catcher for the Tufts Jumbos. Connor Bowman more known for his defense than his offense, but he is hitting in the cleanup spot today.
Bowman batting .274 with a .770 OPS. Very respectable for a catcher. Nice breaking ball there.
Takes that on the inside corner for strike one. Low and outside, so 1-1. Tessier, one of those pitchers with a less traditional wind-up here. More of a sidearm. That one will miss low and outside, so 2-1 the count to Bowman. That one again misses outside. Eastern Nazerene bench chattering to the umpire. That one is definitely low, as Bowman will take his base. So a good job by Connor Bowman to work the count off of Tessier, and he gives up his second walk of the game.
Strong at bat there for Connor Bowman. He's a player with more walks than strikeouts. That's how you know a player has good plate discipline.
Leonard, a left-hander, an outfielder, sophomore for this Tufts Jumbos team. Started getting real playing time towards the end of last season and came into this season as one of those staple starting outfielders now. As there he will take the first strike of the at-bat. So 1-1 the count to Ben Leonard.
Leonard batting an even .250 on the year with an OPS of .780. Balk called here. That'll advance Bowman to second, free of charge.
And you can hear the Eastern Nazerene bench saying he's 1 for 2 on the year, and they are correct. And Connor Bowman is not a stealing threat on the base paths. So that balk puts him in scoring position, free of charge. When we talked about the base paths being a factor today, it was not in reference to Connor Bowman. Leonard takes high, so 2-1.
We'll see if Leonard looks to drive the ball or if he just looks to move Bowman over to third, get that game, look for that game-tying run here in the bottom of the second.
He is tied for second on the team in RBIs with 21 on the year. He will rip that into right field, and it will get over the wall. So Ben Leonard with a home run over the right field fence. And the Jumbos take the lead in this one, 2-0.
Don't need to bunt him over when you can just drive it well over that tall right field fence. A very good hit there by Ben Leonard. When he gets a hold of it, he can really let it fly.
That is Leonard's third home run of the year, putting him in a tie for second place with Jimmy Evans. So a great turnaround to this game as the Jumbos go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. But they take advantage in the bottom of the second. Excuse me, the bottom of the first, and now the bottom of the second. And there's still nobody out here as they have a 2-0 lead. So Stawicki, the designated hitter for the Jumbos, up at bat now. 2 quick strikes on Stawicki, so Tessier settling right back down. Throwaway pitch there, high and outside. Stawicki not biting on that. He has appeared in 14 games for the Jumbos, started just 6, so this is his 7th start of the year. He will not swing at that pitch as it bounces in front of the plate. Good eye there. 2-2.
Stoicki, a bit of an all-or-nothing batter. In 25 at-bats, 8 strikeouts with 2 home runs.
Checks down to first base, and they will call him out on the swing. Vidal almost forgot to tag Stoicki there, but he eventually does as Stoicki was lingering around the plate. So a strikeout for Tessier, his 2nd of the game. Connor Flavin coming up to bat for the Jumbos, leading the team in home runs with 4. Takes strike 1 right down the middle there.
Tessier appears to be having good command of that breaking ball early in this game as a contrast to his fastball, which he also has command of.
That one is taken on the outside corner. Flavin didn't really look like he liked that one. But he finds himself down 0-2 and having to protect here against Tessier. That one outside, Vidal not quite able to frame that. He had to shift over entirely in his crouch, so you're not going to fool the umpire with that one.
You can only do so much with little subtleties of framing.
Vidal able to block that one, stop it from getting to the backstop. 2-2. The Jumbo's doing a good job not swinging at anything outside of the strike zone thus far. Tessier shakes off Vidal, delivers the pitch, and that is strike 3. Flavin doesn't like that, but strikes out looking as the Lions will throw it around the horn. So after the home run given up to Ben Leonard, Tessier has come back and struck out the next 2 hitters for the Jumbos, arguably 2 of their strongest hitters. Connor Davidson now at bat, the 3rd baseman today for the Tufts Jumbos. Takes that pitch outside.
Davidson not with a ton of action this year, only in 54 at-bats. However, in the first game of the doubleheader 2 weekends ago against Bowdoin, he did have that walk-off sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 9th inning to extend the Jumbo's home winning streak.
They are undefeated here in Sol Gittleman Park. A perfect 12-0 on the season. Looking to extend that today as they have a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 2nd. That one is taken for a strike. So 3-1 the count. Fouls that one back to the backstop. Full count now with 2 outs. And Tessier will look to limit the damage. And he is late on that fastball as Tessier strikes out the side after giving up a walk and a home run. So we head to the top of the 3rd. Jumbo's leading 2-1. As we are back here in the top of the third inning, McNamara up at bat for the second time in this game. He walked his first time up, facing Gavin Brown once again. That one way high. Looked like it might have hit his bat there, but no call by the umpire. He did have to duck out of the way. There's a strike from Brown. So it comes right back, and Burns went in the strike zone. Swings at that one and fouls it way down the third base line into the Jumbo's bullpen.
Eastern Nazarene College has played one game against the NESCAC team so far this year. That was Colby on March 12th, where they did win 5-4. McNamara going 1 for 4 in that game.
He rips that one hard into center field, but it will be caught out there by Fleckner. So a little bit of a scare for the Jumbos, but that center field wall is 400 feet away.
Gavin Brown real lucky there to not have this game be tied right now. That was some real good contact by McNamara.
Yeah, real solid contact there by Shane McNamara, something we haven't really seen from this Eastern Nazarene team yet in this game, as they have been primarily threatening getting on with walks. As Lindero takes that high. He pops that one high into short right field. McCullough is there to make the play, so Gavin Brown gets 2 quick outs here in the top of the third, both on balls in play this time. Now Tyler Bean up for his second up out of the game. He struck out his first time. Takes that for a strike. He did strike out with the bases loaded to end that threat in the top of the first. There's strike 2. And there is strike 3 from Gavin Brown. So the Lions go down 1-2-3 in the top of the third. A scoreless frame for Gavin Brown as he settles back down. And we head to the bottom of the third. 2-1 the score for the Jumbos. So Tessier back out for his third inning of work. Ozzie Fleischer now up at bat, the shortstop for the Jumbos. Takes low and outside for ball 1. once again low. So 2-0. The first two pitches from Tessier.
Fleischer not really a power threat out there, but he does have speed and is a great fielder. So he does earn this spot in the lineup.
He has started and played in all 28 of the Jumbos games this season. Swings and pops that foul down the first base line, out of play. So 2-2 the count to the Jumbo shortstop. The 2-2 swung and grounded to the right side. McNamara will field and step on first, so an easy ground ball out for Tessier. And there's one out here in the bottom of the third. So the center fielder, Henry Fleckner, will come back up to bat. Saw him catch that line drive in the last inning by McNamara. Takes low and outside for ball one.
Fleckner comes in this game 4 for 18 in his last 5 games.
He takes a strike there. So 1-1. In his last at-bat, he did work a walk, but was then subsequently picked off by Tessier at first base. Takes low again, so 2-1.
Tessier not afraid to utilize that breaking ball. When it hits, it is very hard to hit. Looks like it has a lot of movement.
He pops that one into right field. Right fielder Bean shades over and makes the catch by the line. So 2 outs for John Tessier, as the third inning is seemingly going a lot quicker than the previous two.
Jesse McCullough back up to bat now. He's coming into this game real hot, 8 for 19 in his last 5 games.
7 for 12 in the last series alone. Takes strike one there on the outside part of the plate.
McCullough only with 38 at-bats coming into this, but he has really earned his spot in the lineup.
2 quick strikes from Tessier here, as he will look to get out of the inning. And there is strike 3. McCullough doesn't like the call, but he will strike out looking, and Tessier will get out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Jumbos. And we head to the top of the first, still 2-1 Tufts. So we are here in the top of the 4th inning. Gavin Brown still out there. You might have thought that Coach Vagnus would have pulled him given the first couple of innings, but he has only allowed one run, even with his strike zone struggles, and the last inning went 1-2-3. That one is popped foul out of play.
Jimenez, like a lot of these Nazerene batters, drew a walk in his first time at the plate.
Grounds out 1 to the right side. Flavin over there field and steps on first base. So a quick out for Gavin Brown. Gavin Brown's pitch count thus far is at, this will be his 70th pitch of the game. Vidal grounds that foul behind the plate, so strike one. Vidal struck out his last time up, the 0-1. Taken low.
Gavin Brown in his 10 and a third innings coming into this game does get a fair number of strikeouts. However, today he's really had to rely on inducing weak contact.
He does have 5 strikeouts on the day, but we have seen him induce some pop flies and ground balls in the last couple of hitters. There is the weak contact you were talking about, but it just goes foul down the third base line. Vidal not exactly the speedster on this Lions team compared to some of the other players. But Davidson over there at third base is playing farther back, so you got to think that he would have had a chance. 2-2 the count. And he will strike out on an off-speed pitch, swinging through it. So 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning.
Vidal was definitely fooled there, dropping down to one knee to try and go and get that pitch. Just couldn't make any contact.
John Prentice comes up for his second at-bat of the day, having walked like the majority of this Lions lineup the first time. There's strike one from Gavin Brown. So despite control issues, Gavin Brown has only given up 1 hit, 1 run, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And he has 2 quick strikes on Prentice here, who will step out and take his time. The 0-2. Bowman checks down to first base, hoping that the first base umpire will call a swing on that one, but Prentice checks his swing. Still down 1-2. Here's the pitch from Brown. And he swings through that, so another strikeout for Gavin Brown, his 8th of the game. And the Jumbos still lead 2-1 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. So John Tessier again back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Faces Jimmy Evans, the right fielder for the Jumbos, who grounded out to second base his first time up. But he did make Tessier work, fouling off multiple pitches in that at-bat. So we look to see another good matchup between the two of them here. That pitch is taken for a strike.
Jimmy Evans does happen to lead this Tufts batting lineup, being hit 6 times. Not a stat you can really control, but a stat you not necessarily want to lead in for your own comfort.
1-1 the count from Tessier. That one is taken outside. The hit by pitches do speak to this Jumbos team ability to get on base. They have multiple players with double-digit walks. That one is taken for a ball, so 3-1 the count.
Real nice off-speed pitch there by Tessier, but not enough to get Jimmy Evans to swing through it.
So he now faces a hitter's count here. And he will rip that into right field, sending Bean back. It will bounce off against the wall. Evans will round first and cruise into second base with a double. Seemingly didn't have to slide there, but might as well as he stands on second base. The leadoff double in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Jimmy Evans' 8th double on the year, putting him in a real good position to come around and score with no outs in the inning for Connor Bowman at the plate now. Bowman drawing a walk in his first time up at bat.
To set up Ben Leonard to hit that 2-run home run over the right field fence, as Bowman will send that into right field as well. Bean will track over. Evans will tag and go to third, so an effective out for Connor Bowman as he moves the runner up with just 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And Tyler Bean in right field has been busy. Ben Leonard back up at bat for his 2nd trip to the plate against Tessier, having got the better of him last time. That one is taken for a strike.
Bean wasn't too busy in Leonard's last at bat, as all he could really do was turn around and watch it fly as Ben Leonard crushed a ball over that right field fence.
And a 1-1 count, the same count that he hit a home run in his last at bat. You got to think anything deep in the outfield is going to be able to score Evans from third. That one taken low. Leonard will tell Evans to stay put. The 2-1 from Tessier. Taken low again, so 3-1.
You wonder if Tessier is trying to pitch around Leonard. Maybe he's not. He wouldn't be too mad if Leonard got on first, would set up the double play, and perhaps allow him to get out of the inning unscathed.
And that will send Ben Leonard to first. So the Jumbos now have runners on the corner with 1 out.
Think we'll see a double steal here?
I'm not sure. I think they might try and draw a throw from Vidal. Jimmy Evans, standing over there on third base, has 5 steals on 7 attempts, so he's not one to steal often. I'm not sure if you're going to get that aggressive this early in the game, as Todd Stawicki now stands at the plate. Tessier will throw over, a little bit dangerous when you've got a runner on third base. Leonard will be able to dive back in safely, but he did catch Henry Fleckner in the bottom of the 1st, leading off first base. There's a strike, and Leonard will go down, drawing a throw from Vidal. The throw will get past Landero and Leonard will go to third. So there is that double steal. A little bit delayed as it might not have been planned that Evans was heading for the plate. But the throw from Vidal gets by Landero, and that allows Evans to score. The Jumbos increase their lead to 3-1, and Leonard moves to third base.
Wouldn't shock me if that was planned, though. We have seen that at times during the year. The runner from first will go for a little delayed steal, not really worried about getting out himself if it allows the runner from third to come home and score. However, with the mishap on the throw down to second, the run will score anyway, and we'll put another runner on third, still with one away.
Now Stawicki can look to put one in play to be able to score that run. He swings through that pitch. So there's a strikeout, the second strikeout on the day for Stawicki. And that will bring up Connor Flavin. That strikeout is the 6th of the day for Tessier. That one is low. Good block by Vidal behind the plate. Leonard does have speed over there on third base. So anything that gets by Vidal, you've got to expect that he's going to go.
Vidal wanted that pitch, just a bit outside. Good discipline there by Connor Flavin to hold off there.
Tessier pitching quickly here. Taken low. That one is taken for strike two, so 2-2 the count. And Tessier will look to get out of this inning. 3-1, excuse me. And that is taken outside, and Flavin will take his base. So the second walk of the inning issued by Tessier. And there are once again runners on the corners.
Davidson did strike out his first time at bat. He'll be looking to improve on that result with 2 runners on base and 2 away, as Vidal makes sure his fielders are on the same page with the situation.
Two outs here. You play to your closest base, assuming first or second. That pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Tessier will throw over. Leonard dancing off of third, but will not make a break for the plate. Flavin able to dive back in safely. Davidson faces the 0-1. Hits that into right field. Bean drifts over once again and will make the play. Just foul. Good play there by Tyler Bean to get out of the inning. So the score is now 3-1 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. the top of the Lions order back up at bat. In Elvis Rojas, the second baseman, grounds to the left side. Fleischer will scoop it up and fire over to first. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Gavin Brown in the top of the 5th inning. He has really settled down as of late. The last 2 innings going 1-2-3, 1-2-3.
Guerrero 0 for 2. However, he did drive in that run in the top of the 2nd, which at the time gave them a 1-0 lead.
Takes a strike there. That one way high. Not going to draw a swing. One and one the count. He hits that, pops it up on the right side. McCullough will make the play over there at second base. So 2 quick outs for Gavin Brown.
He's got to be happy with that after really laboring through the first few innings.
Definitely, and especially with this being the top of the Lions lineup. The first 2 hitters going down pretty quietly here. That one bounced to the plate. It will get over the glove of Bowman, but it won't matter as the bases are empty. Ferguson will take that high. 2-0 the count. Low, so 3-0.
Not sure if it's a release point issue, but over the course of this game, Brown has had stretches where he's been locked onto the zone and stretches where he can't seem to find the zone to save his life.
There's a strike. Ferguson taking all the way with a 3-0 count. Flavin will look to get back in this. Gavin Brown will look to get back in this, but will miss inside, and that will put Ferguson on for his 2nd walk of the game. Shane McNamara will now stand in as the cleanup hitter in this Lions lineup. 0 for 1 with a walk. Saw him make solid contact in the 3rd inning with a line drive to center field caught by Fleckner. Definitely one of the bigger threats in this lineup for the Eastern Nazarene Lions. Takes a pitch high.
Ferguson with a rather large secondary lead there, wondering if he would be looking to steal here.
He has 13 stolen bases on the year, only been caught twice. So you got to think that the Lions want to put a runner in scoring position for McNamara. That one bounces out of the glove of Bowman, so it's hard to get the ump to call that a strike. 3-0 the count to McNamara. And that one is bounced to the plate, so back-to-back walks issued by Gavin Brown. And Coach Vagdas will come out of the dugout now.
Not what the Jumbos want to see. 2 quick walks to after 2 batters were put away. 2 quick walks to start to fill up these base paths. Silas Reed will come into the game now to pitch. A real innings eater. A week ago against Johnson and Wales, he pitched 7 innings in relief, getting the win, as the Jumbos did beat Johnson and Wales that day.
He is also a strikeout pitcher, one of the more strikeout-heavy pitchers on this Tufts pitching staff, having struck out 13 against UMass Boston on April 12th. You got to think that a strikeout would be good here so the Jumbos can get out of this inning with no more runs allowed.
Absolutely. Reed with a 3.73 ERA, striking out almost 13 batters per 9 innings pitched. He'll be looking for one of those here.
That ERA is good enough for 9th in the conference among those with relevant stats. In order to have relevant stats, you must pitch 1 inning per game. So there are only 3 players in this Tufts bullpen pitching staff that have quote-unquote relevant stats. Silas Reed is one of them, as he will start off his appearance here. Burns in a strike on the outside corner.
Some real nice velocity there. Pitching that pitch coming in with some confidence.
Landero 0 for 1 on the day. With a pop out to second base. That pitch will miss low and outside. The Lions will go from facing a lefty to a righty in Silas Reed. His 1-1. Swings through a high fastball.
That's what having a lot of velocity will do for you.
That ball exploding up in the zone, drawing a swing from Landero. Runners on first and second here with 2 outs, 1-2 count. And there is a soft liner into left field. Leonard will range over to make the play. So a good running catch by Ben Leonard in left field to get out of the inning, and the Jumbos still lead 3-1 going to the bottom of the 5th. Ozzie Fleischer will come up to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, facing John Tessier, who is back out for his 5th inning of work.
Tufts would love to get him on base here ahead of the top of the order.
He grounded out to first base his first time up, working Tessier to a 2-2 count, though. Takes strike 1. That one is low. Vidal not able to frame that. So 1-1. He grounds out to the left side. Landero makes the play, fires over to first base in time to get Fleischer for the out. So that is Fleischer's second ground out on the day. And Tessier gets a quick out in the bottom of the fifth.
Nice running play there by the shortstop, Landero.
Yeah, that ball was not hit hard enough for him to stay put, so he did have to charge in on that one and made a good throw across his body for the out. Now the top of the order back up for the Jumbos as Flechter fouls that one down the first base line.
Hopefully that one did not hit a car, as that had some serious speed on it.
The nets here at Sol Gittelman Park only extend as far as the end of the dugout, as Fleckner takes high 1-1.
The Lions dugout not too thrilled with that last call, saying that ball was at the waist.
And that's seemingly a makeup call by the ump there, as that one was severely inside. So the count is 1-2 on Fleckner. That one drew some calls from the Jumbos dugout, as Fleckner will ground softly down the third base line. Jimenez will let it go foul. It looked like it had a chance to stay fair, as Fleckner was hustling down the line, but it will go foul.
In regards to that makeup call, I suppose if both benches are equally mad at you, you are calling the game down the middle.
Fair enough. Fleckner stays alive in the at-bat. Still 1-2. He fouls that one back into the netting. Staying alive once again in the at-bat. Still 1-2, making Tessier work. And the home plate ump will call him out on the swing. Vidal didn't even have to check down to the first base umpire. Fleckner went around on that, so he will strike out.
Couldn't quite hold up there.
And that is Tessier's 7th strikeout.
McCullough has struck out both times he's been at bat today, as that pitch is taken in the dirt for ball 1.
Struck out once swinging and once looking. He lines that one back up the middle, so a solid piece of hitting there by Jesse McCullough, as the first year stands on first base with his first hit of the day. He was right on time for that pitch, timed that fastball up really well, hammered it right back up the middle, and the Jumbos have a base runner with 2 outs.
The Lions defense shading over to right here with Evans' ability to pull that ball, as McCullough looks ready to bolt for second.
Evans will pop that way high on the infield. Landero will camp out under it, shift over. He just had to shift at the last second there. It looked like he could have dropped it, but makes the play. And the Lions will get out of the inning. Still 3-1 Tufts, heading into the 6th. So Silas Reed will come back out to continue his relief appearance here, facing Tyler Bean, the right fielder, who we've seen make a number of running plays on defense. Hasn't really been impactful on offense, striking out twice swinging today. Takes a strike from Reed there.
Reed showing some strong control out there and some strong velocity. He could go the rest of the way if he has a good outing, as that pitch is swung through.
Pitching quickly here. Doesn't even need the MLB pitch clock. That one is fouled off the end of the bat. Being checked to swing, but it hit off the knob of the bat.
Doesn't matter where that bat is. If the ball touches it, it is a foul ball.
He will foul that back again. So staying alive in the at-bat with Reed pitching quickly. That one is bounced in front of the plate. Being not going to swing at that one. So 1-2 the count. Still ahead of Tyler Bean. That one's taken high, so 2-2. Taken high again. Bean not biting on the high fastballs. Silas Reed will have to look.
Reed a bit frustrated with that location.
That one is popped up down the first base line. McCullough will call off Flavin in short right field and make the play for the out.
Good start to the outing for Silas Reed, having retired both batters he's seen today.
Anderson Jimenez in his third at-bat of the day. 0 for 1 with a walk. Swings through the first pitch from Reed, who is working quick. That one is bounced in front of the plate, taken for a ball. 1-1. There's another strike on the outside part of the plate by Silas Reed.
Looks like that one fooled Anderson Jimenez, as he didn't swing on that pitch. Did he go around? Yes, he did.
They will check down with the first base umpire, and Bowman will throw the ball around the horn. So a strikeout for Silas Reed, his first of this appearance, as he gets Anderson Jimenez swinging, bringing up Rudy Vidal, the Lions catcher, who has also struck out twice swinging. He fouls that back to the backstop.
Vidal, a player who looks built for power.
That one is taken for a ball, so 1-1. Strike 2 from Reed, and he will look to get out of this one, having only faced 3. Bowen points at his pitcher for that pitch. It was a good breaking ball, but Vidal checked his swing.
I would look for something high in the zone here after that waste pitch.
He pops that foul down the first base line, out of play.
Real cheeky by our sound crew, by this field sound crew.
And as Vidal will strike out, swinging for the third time on the day. So Silas Reed gets him 1, 2, 3 in the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the frame. Jumbo's still up by 2. And as is a little bit of a tradition here on JumboCast, we do our 6th inning showdown between the mascots of the two teams. Today, more of a traditional matchup between an elephant and a lion. You can see the graphic on the screen right now. Neither one has an occupation. I'd like to think that the elephant is a little bit taller than the lion and weighs slightly more. But the lion arguably has a better weapon in claws. So
I would say it would take, I'd go with roughly 10 lions to beat a jumbo. The jumbo with a large stature, the lions known more for their speed.
true. I think I would go more like 5, in my opinion. But to each their own.
At least it's not a lighthouse we're comparing the jumbos with, as we saw earlier in the year with the UMass Boston Beacons.
Connor Bowman, the catcher now, puts one through the hole on the left side of the infield. His first hit of the day. And he will stand on first base, the proud owner of a single.
We'll bring up Ben Leonard, having already homered to right earlier in the day. 1 for 1 with a walk.
So Tessier is still out there for the Lions. His pitch count at 91. Leonard will square to bunt, forcing the corners in, but will pull it back as the ball is taken, pitch is taken for a ball. Tessier will throw over to first base, but Bowman dives back in safely.
Temperature really starting to drop here at Sol Gittleman Park as the sun has gone all the way down.
Yeah, we like to say at JumboCast, if you look at the weather forecast, subtract 10 degrees from it, and that's how it feels here at the ballpark.
20 if you're at Bello.
The wind here at Sol Gittleman a little bit less of a factor than Bello Field, so only feels like 35 right now. You can see most of those players in long sleeves. Tessier deals. Vidal will keep it in front of him. Bowman not really going anywhere. We saw him advance previously on a balk, but Tessier hasn't shown any signs of that in this at-bat, successfully throwing over to first base. That one will be taken for a strike, so 2-2. They count to the Jumbo's left fielder, Leonard. And Tessier will look to retire him for the first time today.
Jumbo bench really getting into it.
Leonard will foul that one back into the netting, staying alive in the at-bat.
The Tufts players do seem to have Tessier timed decently well, just can't always put the bat squarely on the ball.
That one is bounced, a good block by Vidal to keep Bowman at first base. It didn't get far enough away from him as he popped up quickly. Looked Bowman back to first. So the count is now full to Ben Leonard. The 3-2. He will throw over to first, and Bowman will dive back in safely. McNamara wanted the call. Looked like he might have had a chance as it was a bang-bang play at first base. But Bowman will stay alive on the base paths. A really good pickoff move there by John Tessier.
Bowman did make a slight twitch over to second and was able to just get back into first.
And he will throw over again. This time Bowman definitely in there safely. anticipating the pickoff this time. Tessier working around Leonard here a little bit. The 3-2. He will rip that down the first base line just early on that off-speed pitch. Stays alive, making Tessier work in his 6th inning of work.
As the manager of the Lions pointed out earlier in the game, Bowman is only 1 for 2 on the year, so it makes you wonder why Tessier seems to be fairly concerned with Bowman out on first base.
He will throw over once again. Bowman showing his awareness on the base path, but as a base runner, you've got to know and be happy with the fact that you're in the pitcher's head a little bit.
Leonard must be getting chilly out there, not having to do much for a while.
He is ready, though, as he fouls that one behind the screen. Staying alive, the count's still full.
Bowman leads off once again. Perhaps he'll go this time.
That one is taken for strike 3, and Ben Leonard knew it as soon as the catcher caught that ball. So he goes down looking. We see a substitution here for the Jumbos.
Duffy.
Jackson Duffy going to hit for Todd Stawicki.
Duffy this year, in his 58 at-bats, is batting .207 with an OPS of .695.
Yeah, he's one of those names that you probably would have seen on the lineup card a little bit more last season, but fell off towards the start of this year and has lost some playing time to some of those younger outfielders that we see in the starting lineup today for the Jumbos. But he does get the pinch hit appearance here. Tessier will step off. Now set again. That one is high, taken for a ball, so 1-0 to Duffy. Duffy will ground that back to Tessier, who will fire over to first, but Duffy is able to beat out the throw from Lendero. So a fielder's choice for Jackson Duffy, as Bowman is shaken up a little bit over there at first, as seemingly Lendero might have kneed him in the face as he tried to make the throw over. Definitely unintentional, but just the product of trying to turn a double play.
Definitely not what you want to see for the Jumbos. Bowman's so valuable there behind the plate with his arm.
Yeah, and you need Connor Bowman for the rest of this game behind the plate. So, in a sense, it's okay because Jackson Duffy replaces him on first base.
The first baseman, number 34, Connor Flavin.
Connor Flavin now up at bat. 0 for 1 on the day, struck out looking with a walk. There's a strike. And Tessier's pitch count is getting up there at 103 now. So you got to think that this is his last inning of work.
Duffy replacing Bowman on the base path, so we wonder if perhaps he'll look to steal as the pickoff move comes there.
The 0-1 to Flavin taken outside, so 1-1. Tessier gets the sign from Vidal. There it goes. Duffy down to second base, and the ball will get away from Vidal. So more likely called as a passed ball or a wild pitch by Tessier than a stolen base for Duffy, but he will stand on second base with 2 outs and give Connor Flavin a chance to drive him in.
Duffy did have a good jump on that ball, so you wonder if he would have been safe regardless.
He does not have to slide, though, as there's no throw. The 2-1 as Flavin pops that way out of play.
As that squarely strikes a Volkswagen in the parking lot. Hopefully no damage done.
With the lights on, too. Luckily, that car has a roof rack, so hopefully all good. The 2-2. Flavin swings through a high fastball, and Tessier will get out of the inning with no runs allowed. He leaves, having given up 3 runs on 4 hits, striking out 8 and walking 4, and that is seemingly his last action of the game. We head into the 7th inning.
Flavin didn't seem happy about that one. Pretty mad at himself after swinging through a pitch well out of the zone.
Silas Reed will, nope, not Silas Reed. We will see a pitching change in the 7th inning.
And we're back with Justin Wells now on the mound, the junior from Stoughton, Mass. Actually a graduate of a rival high school of mine. He went to BC High. I went to St. John's Prep. Wells coming into the game having pitched in 13 innings, an ERA of 4.15, and a clean 9 K per 9.
He will face Prentice, the DH. A lefty-lefty matchup.
As the Lions bench really getting loud now. Either looking to get in the head of Justin Wells or cheer on Prentice.
1-1 now as Wells burns a strike in there. Prentice will pop that way high out of the scope of the lights. They cannot see it as McCullough comes in to make the play. Fleischer could not see that ball, but Jesse McCullough had a better angle on it, and he will come across the infield to make the play for the first out of the inning. So the Lions get back to the top of the order, and Wells will face Elvis Rojas in his 4th plate appearance of the game.
Rojas 1 for 3 today with a strikeout. as Wells looks for a clean inning of relief.
There is strike 2 burned in there. Rojas will pop that against the screen.
It is always a risk coming to park here at Sol Gittleman Park.
As Rojas will ground that through the left side of the infield for a base hit. He will round first, but stop there as Leonard will fire back in.
That one just out of the reach of Connor Davidson. He got his glove on it, but just succeeded in tipping that ball into shallow left. A good effort by Davidson, but not enough to keep the runner off of first base.
So the second hit of the day for Rojas. As Wells will now have to pitch with a runner on, facing Brandon Guerrero, the center fielder. 0 for 3 on the day. There's strike 1 from Wells.
Glad to see Bowman's back out there at the catcher position after getting shaken up his last time on the base paths.
The 0-1 way outside. Rojas will get down to second base. Bowman had to lunge for that ball to prevent it from getting to the backstop, only able to deflect it. So Rojas will make it down. That will be most likely scored as a wild pitch from Justin Wells. So now the Lions have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And the 2-3 hitters coming to the plate. That one way high.
Last 2 pitches for Wells have been considerably far away from the strike zone. He'll look to settle back down here after getting 1 out and then a single.
That one looked like it might have slipped out of his hand. He shook his hand coming off the mound. That one fouled back into the backstop. So 2-2. So Justin Wells here will look to finish off Guerrero. The 2-2 pitch on the way. And there is strike 3 to Brandon Guerrero. So the second strikeout of the day for him. Justin Wells is first of the day.
Strong fastball there from Wells. Bring up Francis Ferguson. 0 for 1 with 2 walks today.
Lefty-lefty matchup here. Burns in strike 1. So when that release point is on, he can hit the strike zone consistently.
Seems to be a theme for this Tufts pitching staff, as Gavin Brown had the same situation earlier today.
That one is high and out of the zone. 1-1.
Wells takes a deep breath, looking to offer up a good pitch on this 1-1 count with 2 away.
Coach Vargas will call time here to come out to the mound.
Heard some shouts for a balk.
Seemingly, the coach might have called time to avoid a balk being called.
The coach talking more to the umpire at second base rather than his own catcher and pitcher.
Now we will conference with Bowman and Wells, seemingly about how to face Ferguson at the plate.
Wells still shaking that left hand, trying to get a good grip on the ball. He has a 1-1 count to the 3-hitter in Ferguson.
Bowman making some extra hand signals with that runner on second, not wanting those signs to be stolen. As Wells takes a long look in.
And he will hit Ferguson on the arm, sending him down to first base. Rojas was going on the pitch, so he will be forced to go back to second on the hit by pitch. And the Lions will have runners on first and second for the cleanup hitter in McNamara.
McNamara today 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Will look to drive in some runs here as the Lions are still down 3-1.
That one taken for a strike. A late call from the umpire there draws some yells from the Eastern Nazerene dugout. But McNamara will go down in the count 0-1.
The bench really not happy with that call. Looked like it was just a bit below the knees from here.
He will swing through that one, so now down 0-2. A really good off-speed pitch by Wells.
Wells utilizing that breaking ball to get that swing and miss there.
Jumbo's bench getting loud now as well. And there is called strike 3, a good breaking ball as Justin Wells walks off the mound with emphasis. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Jumbo still leading 3-1. So we are in the bottom of the 7th inning here as John Tessier comes back out for his 7th inning of work. His pitch count at 107. But this is reminiscent of the last time he faced the Jumbos. He pitched a complete game, only giving up 1 run in that appearance. And it is seemingly a pattern for this Eastern Nazerene team as their pitchers, starting pitchers, tend to pitch long stretches of innings. Tessier deals strike 1. To Davidson, the third baseman. And there is strike 2. So seemingly wanting to pitch quickly. As Davidson will send that into center field. It will be caught out there by Guerrero. So 3 pitches get an out for Tessier.
Solid contact there for Davidson. Just hit in the wrong place as center fielder Guerrero was able to camp under that one for the easy play.
Ozzie Fleischer now at bat, having grounded out his last 2 times. That one misses outside. Vidal tried to frame it. Just couldn't quite.
That one a bit too low to frame. That evens up the count. As the Eastern Nazarene bench with some witty remarks as the umpire's going to pay some attention over here. Politely telling the Eastern Nazarene bench to be quiet.
That one visibly inside, so 3-0. Bench telling Tessier to throw one right down the middle and see how far Fleischer can hit it, but he's taken all the way, 3-0. So now 3-1 hitters count. You got to think that Tessier wants to throw a strike here. And he does. Fleischer grounds it right back to him, and he throws over to first. So another ground out for Ozzie Fleischer, and that's 2 outs. That will bring the top of the lineup back up, and Henry Fleckner, the center fielder. Tessier starting to get emotional out there on the mound. Misses low with that one. 1-0. That one is burned in there on the inside corner for a strike. Tessier seemingly not losing any of that velocity. Still throwing hard out there in his 7th inning of work. There is strike 2. Fleckner a little bit upset with himself for not swinging at that. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs here in the 7th.
The bench really wanted that one, but not quite getting the call.
Looked like it might have just been outside. Fleckner leaning over the plate. 2-2 the count. Fleckner fouls that back to the backstop, staying alive in the at-bat. Still 2-2 the count.
Gotta wonder how long Eastern Nazarene will keep Tessier out on the mound.
They do have a doubleheader tomorrow, so wanting to save some of those arms. That one hits Fleckner on the elbow, just grazed him, and he will go down to first base.
The Lions dug out in disbelief as the Jumbos dug out with some high-pitched cheering for their teammate Fleckner.
Get on base any way possible.
Especially with Jesse McCullough up to bat.
He is 1 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a single. Tessier will throw over. He has picked off Fleckner once in this game.
Fleckner's just scampering back in. No dive needed, I suppose.
He will throw over again. Fleckner back in, standing once again. Staying agile over there at first base. He goes now down to second base. The throw from Vidal is not in time as he gets in there safely. So Fleckner with the steal.
Nice piece of running there by Fleckner, getting into scoring position with 2 away.
His 20th steal of the year on 21 attempts. That will force Tessier to pitch to McCullough, who faces a 1-0. He hits that to the right side. It's going to get into the outfield. Fleckner will round third and come to the plate standing up. McNamara will cut off the throw. So an RBI single for Jesse McCullough as he shrugs his shoulders a little bit there on first base.
A little bit of an excuse me single, not a lot of power, just barely getting over the second baseman's head, finding the soft spot there in shallow right in front of Bean. Rojas not able to get to it.
Yeah, it looked like Rojas might have been shaded towards second base. They are trying to hold Fleckner on second base, and as such, he could not get to that ball. Jimmy Evans takes strike one. So the freshman continuing to prove himself in Jesse McCullough as he takes a lead off second and goes with 2 strikes as Evans slaps that one off the wall yet again in right field. McCullough's going to come around to score. He will slide, not even needing to. Tessier will cut off the throw. So that is another double for Jimmy Evans.
Looks like Tessier's night may be done now. That ball rocketed towards the right field wall, hit about halfway up by Evans. That'll put another runner in scoring position, still with 2 away for Connor Bowman.
And Eastern Nazarene will make a change here. Dale Benaway gonna come into pitch. Only 10 innings of work on the year. Given up 7 runs in those 10 innings, or 13 runs, 7 earned. 16 strikeouts though, with a 14.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. So they hope that he can get out of this one and needing just 1 out to get out of the 7th inning here. I was confused about the PA. The PA made the wrong call there. It is Dale Benaway. We will go to break as Benaway warms up. As Dale Benaway will start his outing facing Connor Bowman, the catcher for the Jumbos.
In Benaway's last outing this past Saturday against New England College, Benaway pitched just 1/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit and striking out 1 with no runs, being attributed to him.
So seemingly a pitcher they use to come in these types of situations, just needing the 1 out to get to the next pitcher up. Jimmy Evans does stand on second base here. Connor Bowman at the plate, facing a 1-0 count. He will foul that back out of play. So 1-1 now.
There's really no good outcomes for fouled balls hit behind the net. It's either going into the construction site behind the third base dugout, or into the parking lot behind the first base dugout.
Definitely have to be aware if you're here watching a game at Sol Gittelman Park. The 1-1 from Benaway. Taken for a strike. 1-2. Benaway will step off the rubber, forcing Jimmy Evans to track back towards second base, but nobody's holding him on.
Steps off again.
He will step off again. Seemingly there's a problem with the signs as Vidal gestures towards Benaway.
The Eastern Nazerene manager voicing his displeasure with the situation.
Benaway will look in for the sign now.
You wonder if the Jumbos have some tips on the Eastern Nazerene pitching signs.
That one will bounce in front of Vidal. He will keep it in front of him, but it will bounce far enough away that Evans will be able to make it to third base. So now an easier scoring opportunity for the Jumbos as Bowman will stand in with a full count with 2 outs. He will swing and slap that into right field. So Connor Bowman will get an RBI and the Jumbos will take the lead 6-1.
Great piece of hitting there by Connor Bowman. Just driving to the opposite field, just past the outstretched arm of Rojas.
And that is Bowman's second single of the day, so he is 2 for 3 on the day and brings up Ben Leonard. Leonard will take strike 1. So the top of this Jumbo's order really coming alive here in the 7th inning. Attributing 3 runs to give the Jumbos some insurance. That one will bounce in front of Vidal. He will keep it in front of him.
Absolutely. Top of the order, hitters 2 through 4, McCullough, Evans, and Bowman, each with 2 hits this evening. While the bottom 4 batters are hitless tonight.
Leonard will sky that into left field. The left fielder, Ferguson, will track back and make the play, and that will end the inning. So we head to the top of the 8th. The Jumbos now up 6-1. So Frank Landero, the shortstop for the Lions, will stand in now. His fourth at bat. No, his fourth plate appearance of the day, third at bat. Takes outside. Justin Wells back out there for the Jumbos. Ooh, and he hits Landero on the leg there. Came inside, so Landero will get down to first base.
Looks like that one may have hurt, as that one looks like it hit off the back of the knee as Landero spun around looking to avoid that pitch.
That will bring up Tyler Bean.
Fittingly, as the last pitch was a beanball.
Not quite a beanball, but definitely far inside there on Landero. There's a strike from Wells, his first of the inning, so 1-1 the count to Bean.
Bean 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts.
That one way outside. Bowman able to get over to prevent it from going to the backstop, so 2-1. That one low, so now 3-1 to Bean. The wind's starting to blow now here at Sol Gittleman, hard out into left field. That one is popped up towards the right side. Flavin will shade over and make the play. So a good effective out for Justin Wells. That ball not able to get out of play. So Flavin will make the play, and there is one out here in the 8th.
Jimenez 0 for 2 today with a walk and a strikeout. We'll look to either get on base or advance the runner.
He takes a strike there on the outside corner. That one is high. Jimenez takes 1-1. Landero not seeming to go over there at first base, or not showing signs of going. As he will slap that into right field, Landero will not make the turn to third. So a good piece of hitting there by Jimenez to hit that hard to the right side. And now the Lions have runners on first and second with one out.
And that'll bring up Rudy Vidal to the plate. Already has the hat trick this evening. He'll be looking to avoid the dreaded golden sombrero. In plain terms, he has 3 strikeouts, so he'll looking to avoid a 4th.
He will avoid it and slaps one to the right side. Fleischer will make a diving play again, but has no throw. So we've seen Ozzie Fleischer do that once earlier in this game. He will prevent a run from scoring, but the bases are now loaded as the Lions move station to station.
Good play by Fleischer there to keep that ball on the infield. Second time he's done that this evening, keeping the runner from scoring.
That will bring up the 9-hitter in John Prentice. Another lefty-lefty matchup for Justin Wells as he will look to get out of this inning. There's a strike from Wells. He's been able to get that first pitch strike in there. Just has struggled on some of the later pitches.
Balk called there.
A balk called, and that will advance all of the runners. Landero will score. Jimenez to third. Vidal to second. Coach Fagnus didn't seem to like that call as he came out to discuss it with the umpires. So that will decrease the deficit to 4 runs. As the score is 6-2 now.
That will make this game a safe situation, with the on-deck batter being the tying run potentially. I do see somebody warming up in the bullpen. Not sure if that's McFall or not. Wouldn't be surprised if it is. Actually, it looks like that is number 13, McFall, in the bullpen. So wonder if he'll come in either in the 9th inning or perhaps if Wells continues to struggle here in the 8th inning, trying to get him out of get him out of a jam.
The 1-1 to Prentice.
Nazerene bench really not happy with that call.
A good pitch by Wells, seemingly a breaking ball that broke back into the zone. One and two. The same pitch, and it's going to hit Prentice, sending him to first base. The same type of pitch looked like it just didn't quite break back into the zone. It stayed in that left-handed batter's box, and it will hit Prentice to load the bases. Still 1 out in the 8th. That will bring up the top of the order, and Coach Fagnus will come out.
Yeah, and that will bring out Brennan McFall, the solid closer for this Tufts pitching staff. McFall on the year with an ERA under 1 at .9 in 20 innings of work. Strikeouts per 9 at 10.35. And has 8 saves on the year. He'll look to get out of this jam, hoping to maintain this Jumbo's lead with the tying run at the plate right now. McFall being asked to perhaps go for the 5-out save, not something you see all that often. This game early enough in the week that he should be good to go by this weekend in the crucial conference matchup versus Colby. If the Jumbos take 1 out of the 3 games against Colby, they will clinch the #1 seed in the NESCAC tournament, guaranteeing them home field advantage as far as the system allows.
McFall is definitely a velocity pitcher, as we're seeing some of these warm-up pitches burn in there on a cold night, and there is a breaking pitch. So these Eastern Nazerene hitters are looking to get ahead of some of these fastballs.
Got 4 Eastern Nazerene players in front of me here, all in making their own warm-up circles as they look to time up Brendan McFall's release and pitches. Really crucial situation, definition of high leverage, as the umpire asks the on-deck hitter to move away from the field. To go along with McFall's tremendous ERA, a tremendous whip, or walks plus hits per innings pitched at just .75. Generally, anything under 1 is considered a solid performance. McFall exceeding that so far this year.
Elvis Rojas, the second baseman, will stand in with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 8th inning here.
Would love a ground ball.
That one taken low.
Eastern Nazerene bench getting loud to my right.
Rojas will foul that out of play. So there's the first strike fired in by McFall. Rojas does represent the tying run at the plate right now. He will foul that one back to the backstop, a high fastball just under that. He will hit that to the left side. Fleischer flips to second, fires over to first, not in time, so the run will score. Jumbos trade a run for an out. It is now 6-3 with 2 outs and runners on the corners.
Just too slow on that relay throw to first to get out of this inning without any more runs scoring.
It was a soft ground ball to Fleischer, so McCullough would have had to make a pretty strong throw over to first.
Runner goes to second.
Good throw there by Connor Bowman, just a little bit late. Really good speed there by Elvis Rojas, so a stolen base for him. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position. Guerrero will take strike 2 there. Lions bench urging him to fight in the at-bat.
McFall 1 pitch away from getting out of this with a 3-run lead intact. All of these runs being charged to Wells.
Connor Bowman with a great block there to keep the runner from coming home, although it is the catcher Vidal, so not as much of a speed threat as some of the other Lions on this roster, but still a good defensive job. The 1-2 from McFall. Another breaking pitch bounced in front of the plate. Guerrero not swinging.
Another great block by Bowman as that ball made it out of the batter's circle, but not far enough for Vidal to sprint home.
So now it's 2-2 to Brandon Guerrero, the Lions center fielder. McFall deals. He will hit that to the right side. Flavin will knock it down and step on first base to get out of the inning. So the Jumbos still lead this one 6-3 heading into the bottom of the 8th. Dale Benaway back out for another inning of work. Having gotten the last out of the 7th, he will face Jackson Duffy.
Duffy staying in the game at the designated hitter position after replacing Stowecki.
That one taken outside, ball 1. That one's low. So 2-0, the count to Duffy. Three and 0 now. That one misses outside, and Duffy will be taking all the way here, presumably.
Duffy would love to get on here ahead of Flavin. Try and give the Jumbos a bit more breathing room after Eastern Nazerene scored 2 in the top of the 8th.
There's a strike by Benaway. Duffy was taking all the way. So 3-1 hitters count. That one way high and inside. So Duffy will take his base, bringing up the first baseman, Connor Flavin. Malcolm Whitfield is going to pinch run for Jackson Duffy at first base.
Whitfield 3 for 3 on the year in stolen base attempts. Seems to be pretty much exclusively a pinch runner with 5 at-bats and 3 steals.
Flavin now at the plate, 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Benaway deals strike 1 in there.
Aggressive leadoff here for Whitfield as he barely gets back in.
Got to think that a better throw by Benaway there might have been able to get him as the throw bounced into first base. So, still 0-1 to Flavin. He will throw over again. This time no chance at Whitfield. Very alert to that pickoff move. There is strike 2. After a couple of pickoff attempts, Benaway deals strike 2 on the outside corner. Now there are 2 strikes, so your approach might change a little bit.
With Whitfield's speed on the base, might be tough to turn double play even if that ball is grounded. However, that one is fouled back to the back net.
Good breaking pitch there by Benaway. You could see that one tail away from Flavin. He did a good job just to stay on that pitch and get a piece.
A pitch clock not seeming like the worst idea in the world now.
Maybe even the less of the pitch clock and more of the pickoff rule. Whitfield has seemingly caught the attention of Benaway. That one taken high. Whitfield still not going anywhere. So 1-2 to Flavin. And will Benaway continue the trend of throwing over before throwing a pitch?
Yes.
Yes, he will. Whitfield still diving back in safely.
We here at JumboCast encourage Will Benaway to throw the ball towards home, not towards the first baseman.
He is keeping Whitfield close. And there goes Whitfield, and he will make it into second safely. So seemingly good vigilance by Benaway, as he knew that Whitfield would go at some point. But it doesn't matter, as Whitfield gets the second safely.
Runner in scoring position now for Flavin, as Whitfield stays put at second for the time being.
And there is strike 3. Strikeout looking for Flavin. And now we will see Patrick Solomon hit for Connor Davidson. We saw him replace him defensively last inning, but he will come in to hit for him as well.
I'm glad we got to hear his walk-up song at least one time tonight.
Solomon is normally the starting third baseman for this Jumbo's team. Didn't get the start tonight as Connor Davidson did, but will come in now in the 8th inning and get an at-bat in the 8th spot. Benaway will pitch from the stretch with Whitfield on second base. Solomon will take inside. Ball 1.
Solomon looking to give the Jumbos a bit more insurance if he can get this ball into the outfield and get Whitfield home, as he squares up to bunt, but strike is called.
It was a breaking pitch, so not normally one you'd see bunted. So that's probably why he pulled the bat back, but it was a good pitch by Benaway and taken for a strike. That one is just outside. So 2-1. The Eastern Nazerene bench still vocal about these pitch calls. Home plate umpire ignoring. Whitfield will take off for third, and Solomon will foul it back, so he will have to retreat to second. That is the second strike of the at-bat.
I'd like to commend the Eastern Nazerene bench for not saying any words tonight that couldn't be repeated on the air, despite their frustrations tonight.
Patrick Solomon now faces a 2-2 from Benaway. Solomon pops that up way sky high to the right side of the infield. McNamara will make the play. So that is the second out, as Whitfield will stay put on second base, and it will bring up Ozzie Fleischer.
That ball hit high into the night sky, and when it came down, McNamara was able to track it for the second out. Fleischer would love a base hit here.
He is 0 for 3 on the day. 2 ground outs, 3 ground outs. He pops that one way out of play.
That ball lands harmlessly in the dirt.
So strike one there to Fleischer. The wind blowing hard now. There's a breaking pitch. Just misses. We've seen that breaking pitch find the strike zone from Benaway, but he misses there, so 1-1 the count. Whitfield dances off of second base. Nobody really holding him tightly over there. There is strike 2 to Fleischer.
Benaway pitching well so far in this high leverage situation.
As Fleischer will line that into right field, Bean tracks back and will make the play on the warning track. So that will send this game into the top of the 9th inning, where the Jumbos still lead by 3.
We are back here for the top of the 9th with the Jumbos holding their 6-3 lead. McFall looking to complete the save here tonight with Francis Ferguson at bat. Ferguson 0 for 1 with a strikeout and 2 walks to his name today, as that pitch is taken for strike 1. He'll take that one a bit high and outside for ball 1. He'll swing through that for strike 2. McFall getting ahead in this count.
Brennan McFall has been solid all year. He has only allowed runs in 1 appearance against Amherst, contributing to that low ERA.
Ferguson looks at that outside for ball 2.
He leads the conference in saves with 11. So he is very reliable for this Jumbo's pitching staff.
As Ferguson takes a big hack but misses for strike 3. That'll be the first out of the inning for McFall, as that brings up the first baseman, Shane McNamara. McNamara today 0 for 2 with 2 walks to his name. As he takes fastball for strike 1.
McNamara's bat has been quiet for one of the stronger hitters on this Lions team. Jumbo's able to keep him contained today.
As that ball is rocketed to center field, Fleckner goes back, and it will stay in play as McNamara turns and heads for second. He'll stop there with a rocket of a shot. Results in a 1-out double, and that'll bring up Frank Lindero, the shortstop.
Well, they call it a commentator's jinx sometimes. That was completely the opposite. I said they were keeping him contained, and he smacked a double into center field.
That ball had real home run potential written all over it. However, had that ball gone over the fence where it did, that would have come dangerously close to nailing our center field camera, which would not be good for us here at JumboCast. We would not be able to bring you that for the rest of the season.
That wall out there in center field is mighty far, 400 to dead center to that batter's eye, so you have to really hit it hard in order to get it out of Sol Gittleman.
As the 0-1 pitch to Lindero is popped up into the night sky, Solomon gets under it to make the play for out number 2. McFall now just 1 out away from ending this game and extending the Tufts home winning streak to a perfect 13-0 on the season. Tyler Bean today is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He'll look to stay alive as he takes ball 1.
McFall has been pitching quickly here
We appreciate that.
as the temperature is dropping.
And the 1-0 is taken low for ball 2. Bowman keeping that one from getting away.
Tyler Bean has made good defensive plays in right field today.
That ball is grounded softly to third. That'll keep McNamara at second, and that will end the game as McFall closes it out here for the 6-3 victory.
So the Jumbos will take this one 6-3 on the win. They improved to 23-6 overall. This is an out-of-conference game, so their conference record does not improve. But they will go into the weekend with another win and stay perfect at home. This is JumboCast. I'm Ariel Weinstein. Next to me is Justin Locare. Max Antonini was directing and Niles Lowe on the camera. Thank you for watching. We will see you next time.